This is a story about a poor Japanese boy who, with perseverance and persistence, went from nothing to creating one of the most well-known brand-name car companies to exist. This is the story of Soichiro Honda. Soichiro Honda was born on November 17, 1906, in a small village called Tenryu, located in the Shizuoka prefecture of Japan. He was the eldest son of Geihi and Mika Honda. As a child, Soichiro Honda showed an interest in mechanics and was fascinated by machines. He would often spend his free time tinkering with bicycles and other machines in his father's workshop. He was also an avid reader and would often read books and magazines about cars and motorcycles. One of his earliest memories was of a bicycle that his father bought him. Honda quickly took it apart and then put it back together again just to see how it worked. He also enjoyed helping his father repair their family's farming equipment. Honda's family was not wealthy, and they struggled to make ends meet. When he was in his early teens, his father's blacksmith business failed, and the family was forced to move to a larger town called Hamamatsu, where they opened a bicycle repair shop, as bicycles were growing and becoming very popular at that time. Soichiro Honda worked in the family business, repairing bicycles and other machines, and he became skilled in mechanics. When Honda was young, and while he was going to school in his teens, he was not a fan of school. He didn't like the curriculum. He didn't like the studying or anything else, and he showed poor grades. His school would often hand out school grading reports to children to show their parents. These were to be returned to the school with a family seal to prove that the child's parents had actually seen the grades. Honda, showing a spark of his future self, created a stamp to forge his family seal out of a used rubber bicycle pedal cover. He soon did the same thing for his classmates, forging their family seals, until his fraud was exposed. The difference was his family seal was written vertically, and it was a mirror image when it was stamped. The other students weren't written vertically, and their family seals had to be the mirrored images, but they weren't, so he was caught. Despite his interests in mechanics, Honda was not a good student, and he dropped out of school at the age of 15, and Honda left home to pursue an apprenticeship as a car mechanic. He worked long hours in a repair shop, but he was always eager to learn more about how cars worked. Soichiro Honda's apprenticeship began in 1922, when he was 15 years old. He started working as an apprentice in a mechanic shop at a garage in his hometown of Hamamatsu. However, he was dissatisfied with the slow pace of his learning and the lack of opportunities for experimentation. In search of more knowledge and experience, Honda left the garage after 2 years and traveled to Tokyo to work for Art Shokai. Soichiro Honda's time with Art Shokai began in 1922 when he started working at the company as an apprentice mechanic. Art Shokai was a car dealership in Tokyo that specialized in selling American-made cars, such as Ford, Chevrolet, and many other international car brands. Honda was fascinated with cars and wanted to learn everything he could about them. At Art Shokai, Honda quickly proved himself to be a skilled and innovative mechanic. He was known for his ability to solve difficult mechanical problems and for his ingenuity in creating new tools and equipment. In 1928, Honda was promoted to the position of chief mechanic, and he began to oversee the maintenance and repair of the company's fleet of cars. However, Honda was not content to simply repair cars. He was always looking for ways to improve them and make them faster and more efficient. He spent his spare time experimenting with engines and building his own motorcycles. During his time there, he met a man named Yuzo Sakakibara, who was an important mentor and friend to Soichiro Honda in his early years as an engineer and an entrepreneur. Sakakibara was a successful businessman who owned a factory that produced piston rings, a crucial component of internal combustion engines. Honda met Sakakibara in the 1930s when he was working as a consultant for the factory, helping to improve their production methods. Sakakibara was impressed with Honda's engineering skills and recognized his potential as an innovator. He became Honda's mentor, sharing his business expertise and encouraging him to pursue his dreams of building his own company. Sakakibara also provided financial support to Honda, helping him to secure the funding he needed to start his own business. In addition to financial support, Sakakibara also provided Honda with valuable advice and guidance. He taught him about business strategy and how to build a successful company. He also encouraged Honda to be persistent and never give up on his goals, even in the face of obstacles and setbacks. Love of racing. Soichiro Honda was a passionate and dedicated racer who loved the thrill of competition and the challenge of pushing himself and his machines to the limit. He was deeply involved in racing throughout his career, and his love of racing played a significant role in the development and success of the Honda Motor Company. Honda's interest in racing began in the 1930s, when he began modifying and racing motorcycles as a hobby. He quickly became known for his skill and ingenuity, and he began winning races and setting records on his modified motorcycles. Like all racers, he experienced his fair share of accidents and injuries over the course of his career, including his car flipping and being thrown out of the vehicle. Luckily, he was not seriously injured. Starting his own company. In 1934, Soichiro Honda founded a company called Tokai Seki to manufacture piston rings for Toyota. At the time, the Japanese automotive industry was still in its infancy, and Honda saw an opportunity to provide high-quality components to manufacturers. Honda's early efforts were met with failure. His first batch of piston rings was rejected by Toyota, all but 4. They were of poor quality. Undeterred, Honda spent months researching and experimenting with different materials and production methods. He eventually developed a new process that produced a high-quality piston ring, and Toyota became his customer. Honda's success with piston rings was a major turning point in his career. It taught him the importance of quality and innovation and gave him the confidence to pursue new business ventures. Despite the challenges he faced with his piston rings company, Honda never gave up. His determination to improve his products and find new solutions. He would take night courses. He would learn about metallurgy. Anything to give him an advantage on innovation ultimately led to his success in the automotive industry. World War II broke out. With Japan being involved in the war, Honda had to pivot his company. In 1937, Honda changed Tokai Seki Company with the goal of manufacturing aircraft engines for the Japanese military. The company faced numerous challenges during the war, including shortages of materials and skilled labor. 2 of his factories were destroyed by bombs. This did not stop Honda and his company Tokai Seki. They produced thousands of aircraft engines for the Japanese military, also manufactured other military equipment such as generators and compressors. Honda was deeply committed to the war effort, and he believed that his work was essential to Japan's survival. After Japan's defeat in World War II, the country was subject to a ban on the production of military equipment. Honda was forced to shut down Tokai Seki, and he faced a period of uncertainty and hardship. Post-World War II, Honda did not give up on his dreams of innovation and entrepreneurship. He recognized that the post-war period presented new opportunities for growth and development, particularly in the automotive industry. He went on to establish the Honda Motor Company in 1948 with his business partner, Takeo Fujisawa. Honda's early years at the Honda Motor Company were marked by a relentless focus on innovation and quality. He was deeply committed to building a company that could compete with the best in the world, and he believed that the key to success was a constant drive to improve and innovate. Throughout the early years of the company, Honda remained deeply involved in all aspects of the business. He was known for his hands-on approach and his willingness to get his hands dirty to solve problems and improve products. He was also deeply committed to building a culture of quality and excellence, and he demanded the same level of dedication from his employees. The company's first big success was an innovative motorcycle called the Dream D-Type. The Dream D-Type was a 146cc four-stroke motorcycle that was designed to be lightweight, reliable, and affordable. It was aimed at a market of ordinary people who were looking for an affordable and reliable mode of transportation. The motorcycle was known for its innovative design, which included features such as a pressed steel frame and a telescopic front suspension, its automatic transmission, which made it easy for anyone to ride, even if they had never ridden a motorcycle before. This made the Super Cub lighter and stronger than other motorcycles of the time, while also making it easier and cheaper to produce. The Dream D-Type was an instant success. Soichiro, who now had some success, went on to gain international markets with the famous Super Cub motorcycle. Was a major milestone for the Honda Motor Company, which was still in its early years at the time. It helped to establish Honda as a leader in the motorcycle industry and paved the way for the company's future success in the automotive industry. The Super Cub is one of the most iconic and successful products in the history of Honda Motor Company, and it played a key role in the company's growth in the 1950s and 60s. Soichiro Honda was closely involved in the development and launch of the Super Cub, which was first introduced in 1958. Racing again. After World War II, Honda returned to his passion for racing and began working on and developing his motorcycles. In the 1950s, Honda began competing in motorcycle races both in Japan and abroad. He saw racing as an important way to improve his motorcycles and push the boundaries of what was possible. He believed that lessons learned on the racetrack could be applied to the design and development of his production motorcycles, making them faster, more reliable, and more innovative. One of Honda's most serious accidents occurred in 1954, when he was competing in the Osama Highlands race in Japan. Honda was riding a modified Honda Dream motorcycle at high speed when he lost control, and he crashed. The impact was so severe that Honda suffered several broken ribs, a punctured lung, and a broken collarbone. Despite his injuries, however, Honda was determined to continue racing, and he returned to the track as soon as he had recovered. Honda faced tough competition in the racing world, especially from the established European motorcycle manufacturers. He was determined to succeed and continued to refine and develop his machines. He was not afraid to experiment with new technologies and design features, and he was always looking for ways to make his motorcycles faster and more dependable. One of Honda's most notable racing achievements in the 1950s was his participation in the Isle of Man TT races in England. Although the Honda team initially struggled to compete with the established European manufacturers, Honda remained committed to his vision of using racing to improve his motorcycles. He continued to refine and develop his machines, and in 1959, Honda won its first ever Isle of Man TT race. After the success of the Super Cub, Soichiro Honda continued to lead the Honda Motor Company and oversaw the development of many other groundbreaking products. One of Honda's most notable contributions was his emphasis on research and development. He believed that innovation was key to staying ahead of the competition, and he encouraged his engineers to think creatively and pursue new ideas. Under Honda's leadership, the company invested heavily in research and development, and this approach led to many groundbreaking products. In the 1960s, Honda expanded into the automobile market, releasing its first car, the Honda S500 sports car, in 1963. The company's success in the motorcycle industry helped it to establish a foothold in the automotive industry, and Honda quickly became known for its high-quality, reliable cars. Honda also continued to innovate in the motorcycle industry. In the 1970s, the company introduced the Goldwing, a touring motorcycle that set new standards for comfort and performance. Honda also developed the Honda CB750, a revolutionary motorcycle that was the first to feature a disc brake, 4 cylinders, and an overhead camshaft. Honda retiring. Throughout the 1970s, Soichiro Honda remained committed to his vision of using technology to improve people's lives. He believed that engineering was was not just about creating new products, but about making products that were better and more useful than anything that had come before. This philosophy helped to guide the development of Honda's products during this time, and it remains an important part of the company's culture to this day. Soichiro Honda officially retired from the Honda Motor Company in 1973, and after more than 25 years of leading the company through the most successful period of growth and innovation, Honda had been a long visionary leader at the company with a strong commitment to innovation and quality. However, as the company grew and became more complex, Honda began to feel that his leadership style was no longer as effective as it had been in the past. He also recognized that the company needed a new generation of leaders to take it into the future. In his retirement announcement, Honda stated that he would be stepping down from his position as company president, but would continue to serve as a consultant to the company. He also expressed his confidence in the new leadership team and their ability to continue to innovate and grow the company. Later in life, Honda was also an active philanthropist, donating large sums of money to charitable causes both in Japan and around the world. He believed in the importance of giving back to the community and used his wealth and influence to make a positive impact on the world. In his personal life, Honda was known for his love of nature, flying in the outdoors. He was an avid hiker and often spent time exploring the mountains and forests around his home in Japan. He also had a passion for art and design and was known to collect a wide range of art and antiques from around the world. Despite his many accomplishments, Honda remained humble and down to earth throughout his life. He was known for his strong work ethic and his belief in the power of hard work and perseverance to achieve success. He was also known for his kindness and generosity and for his willingness to help others whenever he could. Soichiro Honda passed away on August 5, 1991, at the age of 84. However, his legacy continues to live on in the Honda Motor Company and in the many lives he touched throughout his life. He remains an inspiration to engineers, innovators, and entrepreneurs around the world, and his vision and values continue to guide the Honda Motor Company to this day. Honda's dedication to teamwork and collaboration. He believed that great things could be achieved through the power of a team, and he fostered a culture of collaboration and mutual respect at the Honda Motor Company. In conclusion, Soichiro Honda's legacy is a testament to the power of innovation, collaboration, and hard work. His contributions to the automotive industry and to society as a whole will continue to be felt for many years to come, and he will always be remembered as one of the greatest innovators and entrepreneurs of the 20th century.